Meet the Mets, meet the Mets. Step right up and greet the Mets. Bring your kiddies, bring your wife. Guaranteed to have the time of your life, because the Mets are really socking the ball, knocking those home runs over the wall. East side, west side, everybody's coming down to meet the METS Mets of New York town. Oh, the butcher and the baker and the people on the streets, where do they go? To meet the Mets! Oh, they're hollering and cheering and they're jumping in their seats. Where do they go? To meet the Mets! All the fans are true to the orange and blue, so hurry up and come on down, 'cause we got ourselves.
What's up, Mets fans? Here we are. Mets watch party live right here with my boy, myself, and CP. Sorry, I did not see myself, but that's okay. Live is always fun. So, Mets Cubs starting in a few minutes. Chris, hi. Haven't seen you in a long time. How you doing?
Yeah, it's been a minute, Rob. Good to see you too, stranger. Yeah, shout out to everybody, man. This is gonna be a fun one. We talked about the pregame, we talked about the challenge that's ahead for the Mets. Obviously, we did the in-game watch party as well last week. It was a fun one. Hopefully, you all enjoy our banter, our commentary, our reactions. I love doing this. This is something that I've been wanting to do more of. And no better person to do it with than Rob, because I think that, we just got a great duo. So hopefully everyone at home is entertained, and let's buckle up and get ourselves a win here, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hopefully, the last game, I think it was actually a longer game than expected, but who cares? That's the most important thing. We get our live reactions, we get game audio, and make sure, guys, when I put the volume up, let me know in the comments if you can hear it, because that's one of the perks of doing this stream is not only looking at our two crazy faces and our instant reactions, but I want you to actually hear the game as well. I know a lot of people are working, a lot of people are on the go, a lot of people like to listen to the stream and not watch, and vice versa. So make sure you let me know, because that's an important part right there. So we got about we got 3 minutes until game time. Let's see how Severino goes out. Hopefully he throws strikes, and the Mets are wearing the City Connects, by the way, which is awesome. So we got that City Connects going on again, which is I actually love it. Like, purple scared the hell out of me, but it looks really good. I'm not gonna lie.
It looks sweet. It looks sweet.
It does, man. It does. On TV, in person, I mean, it's just perfect. But listen, let's get a win today, guys. Like I said, it's instant reactions from us. You're gonna get the game audio. Make sure you have your questions, your concerns, your instant reactions in the chat as well. That's important too. Vibe with us, have a good time with us tonight, and hopefully we come out of this with a Mets W, and the Mets end up 2 games over 500 with 1 game left to go in April. And now we're going to get closer and closer to, the later spring into the summer months. And that's when we're really going to kick it into gear and really see what this team is made of, Chris.
Yeah, no, absolutely. This is a pretty, I want to say, crucial stretch, because it is only April heading into May. But like we talked about in the pregame, if David Stearns is evaluating the season into like thirds, right? You talk about every 45 games or so, then every stretch of this season is crucial, because this is going to play a part in the decision-making process that's going to happen mid-May, late May, etc. Like, the guys right now are being evaluated. What's the move going to be for when Starling Marte comes back, right? That's the short term, but the long term, what's the move going to be when Kodai Senga comes back, right, in late May, early June? So constant evaluation. And I think that piece, and just seeing that this team is always constantly evaluating the players, and nobody's safe, right? Like, obviously you have your main core guys, but everybody else surrounding them, nobody's safe. If you're not performing, next man up. They're going to play, and they're going to find a way to get guys in. And that's what I love about this very early season, and what this sort of regime, so to speak, is showing us right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're about 20 or so games until the first quarter of the season is up, where that's when Stearns makes the big evaluation of the early part of the season. And yeah, nobody's job is safe. Obviously the core guys clearly, but everybody else, you know what? There's going to be a next man up. And I think that's important to realize for a lot of Met fans who were a little, hesitant about David Stearns and his cast of characters and everything else, how he evaluates not just the team, but individual players as a whole, right? Vientos directly into the lineup. I think he would have been in the lineup regardless if he hit that game-winning home run yesterday, because of the fact they like to evaluate these guys, give guys a couple of, a decent amount of at-bats. You're not doing your job. Somebody's going to replace you. That's why there's so much depth in the minor leagues with not just young kids, but veterans as well, who's been there before. And that's what David Stearns did with the New York Mets, and I love it right now. So the game's about to start. The Mets are heading onto the field. Once again, guys, make sure you tell me in the comments if you can hear the audio. That's my most concerning thing. Yes, you want to hear us most of the time, but you want to hear the game as well. For the people who are not able to watch the game right now, can get an actual, double whammy of us with the instant reactions and the game audio as well. So I'm going to turn up the volume, Chris. So if you got any final thoughts, let people know.
I just love that they gave the mascots their own City Connect edition too. That's awesome. Like the hat to go along with it. But nah, man. Other than that, put away batters, and I think the off speed, right? How does Luis Severino's off speed look today? Has a vast arsenal. If that's gonna play well tonight, then he should have a pretty good game. But it's gonna be very curious when Pete Crow Armstrong comes up, like how he performs this whole series, because as well as I do, if he goes and kills the Mets in this series, a lot of fans are going to be angry. And it's like a moot point because it's a completely different person who dealt him for Baez, but you know what I mean. First pitch on the way here.
Absolutely. Here we go, guys. Here's the volume. Let me know in the comments if you can hear it.
On deck, he'll spray it all over the ballpark. I think this is a new for the Cubs. 7 national lineup tonight, winning 4-year college.
I didn't realize that the Mets uniforms had the pinstripe down the bottom of the legs. I like that.
Yeah. Get back in your box.
Nice 3-1 fastball. Outside corner. Greg Capsule, 9 years in Milwaukee, 5 times the postseason, 3 times the division champion. Signed a 5-year, $40 million contract.
Into that corner.
For a big league skip. 3-2, the leadoff batter. Corner, golf fly to right.
Yeah, it should be. Get a corner.
And that's the first out of the night. Kansas City Metropolitan defense, Nito back behind the plate tonight. Vientos getting rewarded with the heroics of yesterday afternoon's ball game. The 2-run home run at third base gets the start. Bader in center. Really
where are you at, Rob? I might need to sync up with you.
Say that again?
Where are you at in the stream right now? I think mine's lagging.
First pitch to Mike Tauchman. I think we're a little bit. You're a little bit behind.
Yeah, I think you're a little bit ahead of me.
Yeah, it's all right. I'll keep my mouth shut. Let the audio say it all.
Yeah, we were synced up before.
Severino was coming throwing lots of fastballs early on in this game. Why not? Fastball has been very effective at running action.
Mr. Delight saying he can't hear the background audio.
Yeah, can you hear it, Chris?
I can hear it, but it's returned to that faintness a little bit.
Trying to get a good angle with the mic.
time, there's no way he can get close with that speed differential from Severino.
Nice.
So that 2 out of no after the switch into the attack. What's interesting to learn for Severino?
That pitch that he just threw to Talkman is wicked. It's wicked.
Shows the pitcher having the first time through is different than the next step back, right? So he counters with his changeup after getting ahead to the fastball. But once you get ahead, it's a steady diet of that down and in slider that should be where he developed what you probably told us to go before the game. It's an under 100 with a 287 OPS. I mean, breaking balls. It's 2 fastballs surrounding a changeup on the first 3 pitches. There was a time there you knew that or thought that you're going to go through the line 3 to 4 times. But the first
The man himself, Jeremy Hefner.
Go heavy on the secondary pitches, even though he had trouble with them. That inside with a fastball. It's 1-2. Year with 3 years, $64 million contract extension. The 9th year for the Cubs last year, 21 home runs. Down and then breaking off and strikes him out. So Severino with an impressive first inning, 1, 2, 3 with a couple of Ks.
All right. So Severino struck him out to end the top of the first. So look, score early, right? He got him zeros in the top of the first. Let's get, and that was a nasty pitch, by the way. Look, get some runs, get him early. Severino looks sharp right now. Get some runs, Chris.
That pitch that Sevy just threw looked like an absolute frisbee, Rob. Like that was nasty. And that's exactly what I said too. I was like, I want to see how his off-speed plays today. Is he going to have command of it? Is he going to have control of it? And that's a perfect example right there of what I said when Sean Manaea always starts. Like you get ahead of hitters, put them away and be competitive in pitchers' counts. You don't have to throw it for a strike or in the strike zone. It just has to be competitive enough to get the hitters to even think about biting on it. But yeah, I agree. Let's get the bats going early and often. I want to see how the approach is looking like today.
Yeah.
And I think that we can see that right off the bat, and it'll set the tone for the rest of the game. Make him work, though. Like, make him work. Make Tyone work.
Correct. And I think that's when the Mets lineup is at its best, when you make the pitcher work. Let him get into that bullpen. Like I said, there's not a lot of, bullpens as good as the Mets. You got to get into the bullpens because that's when you can do some damage. And, with Severino looking sharp, I know it's only 1 inning, but his breaking stuff and his slider definitely looks sharp for sure. So we just got to keep it going, and let's see if the Mets get some runs with those City Connects.
Yeah. Got these. I can't get over how just like sweet they look. I was very hesitant at first when I saw them come out, but I'm completely sold. And the Rays also just got their City Connects as well. They revealed them today. They look pretty good as well. I know some people aren't really a fan of like the coloring or whatnot, but I like them, to be honest with you.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna put the sound back on, guys. Brendan Nimmo leading off.
It's not so far to share, but like what time is that we set 3 starts here. Really like the pitching that's in the field. It's great for Jameson time when he's actually going to get through the last 2 seasons because he's had so many issues to deal with over the course of his career. Going back to the testicular cancer that he survived in 2017, a second Tommy John surgery, ankle surgery. It wasn't great for the Cubs last year, but he made every start. He got better as the season went along. The 8 and 10 with a 4.84 ERA. This inning, the first 3 weeks of the season this year with some back issues, he come out flying out of the gate 2-0 with a low ERA for his first 2 starts. Then we went to Nimmo.
Yeah.
Home run. All right. Love it. Boom. Yeah, I'm a little delayed, so I apologize about that, guys. But wow, talk about a start, Rob. I mean, we literally just said it. Go out there and get your pitcher the damn lead. And Brandon
Yep.
Nimmo says, I'm going to do it my damn self. Love that.
Love it. Love it. Keep it going. It's good. Put some pressure on the Cubs. That's what you got to do. Good start by Brandon Nimmo. Getting hot.
Absolutely. And I really do think that Nimmo is going to find his stride very soon. I can start to see the little bit of a turnaround, better at bats, yanking that ball out of the ballpark right here. He looks like he is just about to turn that page.
Well, it was just 12 in the series against the Cardinals, but the 2 hits were
Yeah, he left it middle.
running his way up the ranks. And gets the breaking ball. It's about the time. That's the first out. There's your Honda bench starting lineup today. JD Martinez back in there. Sitting yesterday. Martinez gets his first start of the year. Teller subbing for starting Marte and White. Marte is due back tomorrow from the bereavement list. And Pete Alonso comes up with a just ridiculous history against the Cubs.
What was the count on that Lindor ground out?
Say that
You
again?
remember?
Oh,
What was
Lindor?
the count on Lindor? Yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry about that. Say that again?
What was the count on Lindor when he swung at that? I couldn't see it.
1-0 or 1-1?
It was it was
0-1.
no. Huh. I'm curious.
What the hell? I think it was only 1 or 2 pitches. Not
All right. We get the leadoff home run followed by back-to-back clunkers.
At least you're consistent.
JD, the hit machine.
He's got his 4th hit and 10 at bats as a man. It's his first hit to left field. First straight ball on the right. And the breaking ball right there.
Just a pure hitter.
First pitch swinging, man. This guy's approach is awesome. I love JD Martinez. Such a complete hitter, man.
Exactly what he is. Come on, Jeff.
Jeff McNeil.
Look. Unfortunately, McNeil pops up, but not before. Brandon Nimmo leads off the game for the Mets with a solo home run to give the Mets a 1-0 lead. And Stevie goes in the top of the second with a lead, just like we talked about, Chris. I think they heard us.
They definitely did hear us, Rob. It's refreshing too. And like I said, we can only hope. It looks like it is, but we can only hope that this is him turning the corner. But great way to start it off with a bang, right? Literally and figuratively. And we'll see what Sevi has here. But yeah, I apologize to everybody. I am on a little bit of a delay. Unfortunately, Rob's a little ahead of me. But I love the reactions. Please play spoiler. I can look at this beautiful game day right here in the middle, Rob.
Absolutely. It's funny because I'm a little further down south than you, and I'm getting the quicker stream, which is hilarious. But hey,
Yeah.
what do we know about streaming, right?
Live, when we go live, anything can happen, to be honest with you. Anything and everything can happen with the technical difficulties.
Absolutely. Exactly. We had our clown show not too long ago, so that was always fun. But hey,
Yeah.
live is always fun. Yeah. Live is always fun, to be honest.
Shout out to everyone in the chat, though. Shout out to everybody. Carlos. What was that?
No, again, I'm sorry. That's my fault.
Oh no, I think it's a little bit of a delay between me and you as well, but it's not as bad as it was the last go around. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up, streaming to both YouTube channels, Mr. Nobody, Patty, Mr. Delight, Oliver, Daniel. I appreciate you all. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. So we're just waiting for the commercial break. Again, I'm not in New York anymore, so I gotta stream it. Boo-hoo for me, but that's okay. All right, top of the second, 1-0 Mets. I'll be right back, guys.
Gets jammed and rolls one out the third. Top left with Vientos. Stretched by Alonso. They stayed on the back for him. See if it comes challenge this one. That was quite the long stretch by Alonso, but the first base up by Carlos Torres. So you know that. Well, nice play getting to the ball and getting rid of it.
Oh, yeah. I like the aggression and the charge from Mark Vientos on that play. Throw wasn't quite as there. You know, Pete Alonso obviously making a great play there, but I like the way he fielded that. Love the charge on it, but the throw just got to be a little bit better. And this is something where we're going to see the growing pains, right? I mean, I'm sure Brett Beatty, if he doesn't get placed on the IL, if he doesn't get sent down, we were talking about that on the pregame show, we are going to see Mark Vientos perhaps every other day at third base or whatever the case may be. But the growing pains of the defense will be there for sure. Absolutely. But I love to see that at least the aggression there, not sitting back, not waiting on it.
Too much of his trial with the Dodgers, but in 98 games in Oklahoma City, he had 27 home runs and 180 runs. I'm on one side. And in December, that being Nimmo, which was 102 out. Nimmo's home run being City will limit $2,000 to no be a hundred. He wanted 5 kids to American base and probably right now. So that was
Nice. Quick 2 outs. Rob, Seppi's working efficiently.
Hey, I'll take it. The less pitches, the better. You can go deeper in the ball game for us.
Yeah.
Takes savor the business for ball. As we now in the second year of a 7-year, $177 million deal.
Do you like the NYC lettering on the front, or would you still have preferred it to say Queens?
I wish if it would have said Queens, I think it would have been 100% perfect. Unfortunately,
I agree.
NYC. I think they went NYC because the Yankees are not doing the City Connect. That's why I think they did it.
Who cares though?
They can't do NYC, and the Yankees are doing it, but they're not. So I think that's why.
The Yankees turned it down, didn't they?
Yep.
We don't need to pick up after their slack.
I mean, the Red Sox did it. The Cubs did it. Like, come on.
We were not privy to the first game. It's true. So this is our debut with City Connect. So Rob, just another robbery.
Yes, Robert. I'm very happy, by the way, about the Rangers getting the sweep. I was at Game 4 yesterday, Rob, in DC.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was sweet. I haven't been to a playoff hockey game ever in my life, and the vibes are just absolutely awesome. Rangers fans everywhere, as it always really is in DC. So great time.
Yeah, and Severino just struck him out. So top of the second over, bottom second coming up. Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to the Rangers, swept the Capitals. And look, I'm glad they didn't have one of those long series for no reason against a team they're way better than. So they just wait for Carolina and the Islanders series to end up. And listen, if they play Carolina, I'll be at all the Carolina games in Carolina because I'm here. So it's perfect.
Yep. Should be fun. But yeah, Sevy's absolutely dealing right now. It's a joy to watch this right here. He's cruising, and guess what? No walks yet. I mean, he's flirted with a 3-2 count, right? To start the game up, I believe, but no walks. Keep them off the base paths because what's been killing these starting pitchers in terms of the efficiency category is full counts and walks, especially to lead off batters. And Severino's just absolutely had an amazing start so far. So keep it up. And yes, Patty, they are little cheat sheets in the back of their cards to sort of know where to position themselves when each hitter comes up. So that is what they're looking at.
Yeah, exactly. Defensive positioning. That's been going around baseball a while now. So Not surprised by that. But yeah, I mean, if Severino can limit those pitches, and look, that's been the biggest problem why Mets pitchers couldn't go deep into games. That's the issue, right? They try to mess around when they get 0-2 or in pitchers counts, and they try to nibble instead of just going after a hitter, and then a 0-2 1-2 count ends up a full count, and that's how you increase your pitch count, and you get stuck pitching only 5 innings, which the Mets need to get better. And David Stearns talked about it in his press conference. You got to go a little deeper into ball games, even though the bullpen has been outstanding.
Yep.
All right. So, bottom of the second, and Tyrone Taylor, best player on the team, is at bat.
First home run that the Mets have hit in the first inning this season. No, the only team in the major leagues for that. Taylor off front in the second base. Seventh first inning run. The Mets has scored 28.
Here comes the man of the hour, Vientos.
One out and nobody in that Mark Vientos.
Come on.
Vientos making his first start of the season. He goes after the first pitch.
You can't get too anxious.
Yeah.
Vientos was tearing it up in AAA. He had a 923 OPS through 23 games before he was called up. Yeah, 22 RBIs in 23 games is outstanding production.
Run it out.
Short. A huge smile on his face. It was just such a secret. He said, it was exactly like it was said, David,
Tyone really settling in too after that leadoff home run. He's inducing some pretty weak contact pop-ups and that weak ground out by Vientos. So
You got to get him early.
yeah.
Hits or with 2 strikeouts.
Yes, Christopher, I'll be supporting your Islanders for one time because I'd rather see them than the Canes. But
Yeah. Let that series go a little bit longer to tire out the Hurricanes.
yeah, exactly.
He's strong up the middle to win. He has a veteran in play 2 goal gloves up the middle.
Go, Banner, let's go.
And you got another goal around left field. And he met former Met. Peace. Up the outside corner, and Bader's trying to look it. That's his first strikeout. We go to the third.
All right, so Bader strikes out in the bottom of the second. Mets do not score, but they still lead 1-0. Sevy's dealing the first 2 innings, going to the top of the third. You know, with Vientos at bat, I know it's only 1 at bat, but you saw he got a little anxious right away trying to go after that first pitch. I don't mind that early in the game. It's not a big deal. You know, nobody on base. I don't mind that at all. But you can see he gets a little bit anxious, and I worry about Vientos a little bit when he gets a big hit and he comes in the next day. It seems like he's a little anxious. I don't know if you read that or not, or is that just me being a little picky at this moment?
Yeah, no, he definitely, I mean, his plate discipline in general just needs to be a little bit better. We know he's a little bit of a free swinger, and the strikeouts are going to be there with Mark Vientos. That's not a secret. He's got a pretty long swing, like we've all pointed out before, right? But that pitch also, I don't care if they swing first pitch, more power to them. If you get the pitch you like, swing at it. But that was an off-speed pitch, right? And it was away. And that just wasn't a good pitch selection to just swing at first pitch there. So I believe it was I believe it was an 0-0 slider. It looked like something off speed. It didn't look like it was a straight fastball. But yeah, I agree with you. I have no problems with it, but just hit your pitch, and that definitely wasn't it.
Well, yeah, it was clearly all right. Guessing fastball on first pitch. and he
Yep.
got fooled by the slider. So again, I'm not going to kill him. It's one at bat. What I want to see is him learn from the next at bat. That's been the problem with a guy like Beatty, even Vientos when he came up last year as well. That seemed to be they didn't learn from their mistakes, and that's what you want to see from the young guys, right? Your prospects for a reason. You got to learn from your mistakes. That's how you get better, and I want to see Vientos do that in his next at bat. Hopefully, he will.
Yeah.
All right, top of the third, 1-0 Mets. Sevy on the mound, first pitch. Morel is good. One pitch, one out. I'll take it.
Efficiency. I love it.
Yep.
That's a lot of humor on both sides of that divide. Everyone knows what Harley does.
Mr. Nobody's saying we're still ahead of him, and he's using the SNY app. That's funny. I heard it's pretty bad.
Yeah, the SNY app is a hit or miss.
Yeah.
36 years old, 13th Big League season, third with the Cubs. And he gets one for the middle.
All right. Quick 2 outs to Sevy.
Jan Gomes. I didn't even know that he was still in the league. That's crazy. That man is timeless.
Right? All right, here comes Pete for Armstrong.
Slider, center kind of hitter, but he has come out this year and has been firing that four-seamer.
Now, Pete Crow Armstrong, the former Mets first round draft pick, said to say that there was virtually no reaction from the crowd. Crow Armstrong, so people were so upset when he was traded away when they buy his deal in 2021.
That's a nice swing right there from Crow Armstrong.
It's also got Jordan Williams in that field. Crow Armstrong,
Get a hit?
like high school play. Huge prospect, 22 years old. Called up when Cody Bellinger got hurt, getting a chance to play right now. And so far, so good. 3 round with the Cubs last year, did not hit.
Oh, look, Billy Epler.
Home run.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's my fault. Not Billy Epler. Brody. My fault.
Who are you talking about?
They just showed Brody in the front row.
Oh. You said Billy. I was like, oh, they allowed him back into the stadium.
That's an awesome shot right there.
My phone feed's actually a little bit ahead of my TV feed, oddly enough. So
All right. 3 perfect innings for Severino. Bottom of the third. Mets lead 1-0. Severino, 9 down. Can't complain about that. And he's doing it efficiently, quickly.
nothing that Severino does and no success that he has this season is going to surprise me. This man is a warrior. He's honestly an ace, to be honest with you. I mean, he definitely was an ace before, but I still think he can be an ace, to be honest with you. He's not going to be the ace because we have Kodai Senga, but he's got the stuff, man. And people always write him off. Like, I know he's coming off of a career worst year, but the guy's not even that old either. He's in the prime of his career, around 30, 31 years old. So a lot of people writing him off a little bit too early in my book, and I still think that he can be that guy. Like, if not an ace, he definitely can be a number 2, a valid number 2. If he has a good year, you extend him, and that solves a lot of problems for your rotation, or at least one of the problems in your rotation for next season. So, no, I love this, and he's really showing why he was probably, maybe minus Tyrone Taylor right now, the best Mets pickup of the offseason.
Yeah, and we talked about it. Like, we both like the signing people. I think it was more because he was a Yankee and people were like sour on it. And also he had a career year as well. But, go back to how the Yankees treated him over the last couple of years. Like, they didn't off the IL at a certain time when he was supposed to, and he got mad about that. They didn't really, take care of him the way they should have, and it hurt him. And he was tipping pitches last year. They never figured it out. Clearly, Hefner and all that new technology the Mets have in spring training figured it out really quickly that he was tipping pitches. It wasn't his stuff. He was still throwing 98, 99. He still has nasty sliders, nasty pitches. And why were they hitting it so hard last year? Well, he was tipping pitches. When you know what's coming and you're a pro, you're probably going to do damage to those pitches, regardless of how good the stuff might be. That's all it was.
Yep.
All right. Bottom of the third, 1-0 Mets. Oh, it's actually Bark in the Park today, too, at Citi Field.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
These are no dollar dogs. These are big time dogs.
All right, Tomas Nido up.
Tomas Nido, third. Yes. Well, if it was cold, the dogs, they'd be okay. Their owners would. I think if we go at night, my ball at the left center, Armstrong, so very interesting so far. When you watch time, he's got a great mid fastball, cutter, curveball, slider. But so far, he has been really slider heavy so far through this Mets line. Maybe the right-handed bats are making him throw that pitch more. So if the Mets first line through, they should look for that pitch more. And was getting taken deep to start the game, affect the way that
I agree with Luz here. The pitching lab too is definitely like it's this time where you're starting to see the pitching lab sort of take effect into these pitchers because it's finally up off the ground and it's gaining a little bit of steam and they've poured the resources into it. It's not just brand new. So I agree with that take.
Yeah, the pitching lab definitely helps. Definitely. And look, that's what Cohen Money also does, not just acquiring players either.
Absolutely.
Nimmo hit his 13th career leadoff home run at the first inning. It takes a 2-0 breaking ball for a strike, 2-1. One over the head curve, over the top curveball, then a slider. Now another curve.
That was a good swing on a 2-1.
New Jersey has got most of the play. That now is sublime. It's three-dimensional.
Yeah, I like that.
It's awesome. That great match finish. Nimmo has the same fastball yet at this time to under 4 counts. I've always seen that because Brendan's been around for a long time. Get ahead of him and want to see if he'll go fishing. He's such a good two-strike hitter, even though he struck out over 20 times this year. It takes time for all four.
Good at bat by Nimmo. Good job.
That Nimmo is drawn.
It's classic Brandon Nimmo right there, Rob. That's classic, and I love it.
Absolutely.
James Time was the second pick in the draft by the Pirates in 2010. Number 1 pick, Frank Harper. Number 3 pick, Manny Machado. Those 3.
You saw Tyone's reaction there, just like very annoyed. That's what drives pitchers crazy.
Wow. Hit it hard, but right at the center fielder.
USA team, along with Kevin Dawson and Nick Confield. Wow, think about that. Also in that draft in the top 10.
Right. I mean, Lindor first pitch swinging as well. We talked about it with Mark Vientos. That's more of a pitch right there with Lindor that is more manageable. Lefty, he likes the ball down low, look like a fastball, if I'm not mistaken. I like that swing and I like that approach. Even though result wasn't there, I like the approach from Lindor.
Yep, absolutely. And that was a fastball right down the middle. He just didn't get under it enough.
Yep.
Come on, Pete. All right, so Pete Alonso grounds out to end the inning. top of the fourth. Quick game going here in a 1-0 game so far. So hey, Chris, listen, we need some more runs. That's obvious. But Sevy, perfect through 3, 9 up, 9 down again. I wonder if he probably can go 95 pitches, maybe a little more, depending on how stressful the innings are. But Sevy looks good. Look, he looks sharp. If he continues this, give him a couple more runs, and I think this game's in the books. If he gives us 6, 7 innings, get a 3, 4 runs, the Cubs are kind of off balance on Sevy's pitches so far.
Yeah, I mean, 1 run's not going to cut it. Need more. Obviously, Sevy's dealing right now, but the breathing room is what we're talking about, right? So, and just to look at it from a different perspective, you see Jameson Taillon obviously having a great season so far, gives up the leadoff home run, but settles back in too. So he's now getting locked in, and he's getting the outs that he needs as well. So this is shaping up to be a classic pitching duel. Please just get your pitcher some insurance runs. That's all we ask.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a problem with the offense. I would say about half the games this year, maybe more. Like that's the biggest problem that they're having right now. Like you can't keep on getting not just quality starts. You're getting good, 6 inning, innings for your pitchers, and you go into the bullpen in a 1-run, 2-run ball game, and it's like at some point you got to give this team, this starting pitcher and breathing room here. They're pitching so well, and you just hope it doesn't turn in a worse direction where the pitching is not doing as well and the offense is still struggling, because that's when the Mets are really going to have problems. But top of the fourth, and we'll see if Severino can shut him down again. Here we go.
Perfect this night for the second straight start. We're flying out to right his first up top man and have to follow. Severino struck out 3 over the first 3 innings. Into us on the grass in third. Other was 2 balls. Severino had just 1 bad inning against the Giants that last time out. Perfect for 4, gave it 3 runs on that. That was it. And no beat him that day.
All right, so there's another count where it's in Sevy's favor. I want to see if he goes right after him and tries to limit the count and just get him out, or is he going to nibble off the plate?
Yeah.
One of the best second basemen in baseball. Takes a slider off 22-2. Also got great speed, tough player, gritty.
There you go. There you go.
Today we're going to just watch Kodai Senga pitch some live BP with some Brooklyn Cyclones.
Well, bad for the Brooklyn Cyclones. They didn't have much of a chance, but he looked fantastic out there, ready to get going. Ready to get the.
Sanders bringing up Reed Garrett as well. That's one name that we didn't really talk about today, especially on the pregame. But that man is having an absolutely phenomenal start to his season. And credit to David Stearns bringing him in. And everyone was just like, "Who's this guy coming out of Baltimore?" They have found a gem.
Yep, absolutely.
Another 4 days after that.
Another quick 0-2 count for Sevy.
Just minor leaguer. Murray's minor league owner. Right? Wasn't here though at 3 o'clock.
There you go. Another quick 2 out.
Love it. Great play from Mark Vientos, this time with the throw.
This thing's got to be for the minor leaguers. He can come out the big diamond, big jet bats, City Field. They're all aspiring to be here as well. I remember when I was invited to camp when I was 19, I was a non-roster player, 19 years old. I'm taking BP off of Rick Wise. Al Borbowski, then there's peak of his career, Bob Gibson. It's a straight thrill.
No,
Intimidating.
what a pitch.
Almost trying to Ian Happ, who struck out his first time. Okay. Severino misses down on the change up and it's 2-1.
Am I mistaken, Rob? Did Stearns bring in Reed Garrett? I know I said Stearns did, but I'm kind of backtracking now and trying to remember if he was the one that brought him in.
Shoot, I don't remember.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and chat help me out as well.
His first 12 in his last start. He retires the first.
I should know that, but I completely am
Last start in
forgetting.
As soon as he started pitching from the stretch, things began to go awry.
Well, I'm sure that's something that they certainly worked on in the side session.
Mr. Morel, first pitch to Vientos. And the throw is true.
First pitch, and the inning is over. So he did walk somebody, but got out of that inning on just after one pitch, after he walked the batter. Solid 4 innings for Sevy, and Mets coming back up. Hey, Sevy's still looking sharp, so keep it going. You already threw 4. I like it.
It's a gem. We're not jinxing anything, but it's a gem, and you know what? Get him some runs, man. Get him some more runs. 1-0, we're not satisfied, Rob.
No, absolutely not. We sound like broken records, but this is the team. The offense is playing like a broken record, like constantly letting their pitchers, not make any mistakes, like we talked about in the pregame, is the problem. The pitchers are not always going to be perfect, and you got to give them some breathing room. You can't get to the 6th inning and it's still a 1-0 ball game. One hanger of a slider or a curveball, and they're back in the ball game, and now you got to worry about trying to score to get the lead back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, Daniel, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. I apologize. I'm keeping my mouth shut. Okay.
It's all right. Listen, I want the W. I can care less how we get it, to be honest with you.
Thanks. That's also a great point.
Yeah. If the other thing happens while we're live, then that's awesome. But I want the W. All right. So we're going to the top of the 5th. Wow. The Mets to defeat Cubs is total runs over 275. Not bad. I like those odds. All right. Here we go, guys. Top of the 5th. Mets lead 1-0.
Great food offerings are across the board at Citi Field, but I think this is the most genuinely neat thing that the Mets hospitality group does, because there's a food truck out here, Coca-Cola food truck, where they rotate in local businesses from the Queens area to have a short stay. And so right now, I've got myself, let me make sure I get this correctly, from Comfort Land, a bases-loaded brisket sandwich that looks fantastic. And this will be, Comfortland will be the home of the food truck until May 14th, and then the New York Panini from Huntington, Long Island, up next after that. So get a chance to come out to the Coca-Cola Corner, not just good food, but also a good message. The percentage of sales, 8% of sales, goes to local charities to help fight food insecurity. There you go, guys. It's nice to hear. We saw you in the glow of the Coca-Cola sign, the purple sign, to the Mets City Connect uniforms. And really, you get to experience this a lot better than we do, Steve. The design of the ballpark is so much different than the Mets and we're having City Connect. Yeah, I was talking to somebody with the Mets before going out to do my pregame hit, and they said, "Oh, you guys haven't been out here for the City Connect."
Oh,
He'll try to field the right center to throw up from
First pitch curveball to McNeil is certainly an interesting choice.
I didn't really expect this. So I love, like you mentioned, the purple theme, but also throughout the video boards, you have, what do they call these? The rainbow boards or the ribbon boards? I'm sorry, the ribbon boards, they have the 7-line tree coming through at times throughout the game. So it's a really neat melding of the motif.
Armstrong ran a long way for that one, Rob.
Yeah,
I mean, the whole theme of the city connects.
definitely ran that down.
Pavement gray with the pinstripes forming the diamonds and circles of the subway line, and then the 7-line patch in purple in the shape of a subway token. I mean, it's just legit.
I started taking the subway in the 80s. I still had the subway token.
And Gary, I think you can expect to see this quite a bit because as much as we love it, I think the players love it even more. And it's their choice. They can wear these uniforms quite a bit.
I do like that they're making the players choose the jersey when they want to wear it. Because usually it was only going to be on Saturday.
Yeah. I like that decision.
Yep.
They choose. Usually,
Did it ever come out why the Mets didn't rock the black uniforms on Friday, Rob? Because I heard Brandon Nimmo complaining about that.
So what happened was the Mets pants for the black uniform, for some reason, they haven't got them yet. So they were, I don't know, it was because they didn't have the proper pants to match the black uniform, which is the white with the black stripe going down. They didn't have it yet. So I saw that on X, I think yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, that is interesting though. But I'm a black jersey fan because I grew up in the 90s when they wore them a lot. So those have a little nostalgia to me. But they do suck in those jerseys when they wear them. They don't play well. And, you know, the Mets are 0-1 with their City Connect. So if they start losing games with that jersey, they ain't going to wear them. I'll tell you that.
Or they can just play better and just not buy into this superstition hype. But I know it's baseball players at the end of the day. I understand.
You were a ball player. You know, everybody has superstitions when you're a ball player. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
that had socks that if we were on a winning streak, we used to just keep the same socks. It is what it was, you know?
You gain an advantage that way, Rob, by just drowning out the opponent with a smell alone.
Hey, listen, you gotta do what you gotta do to win. I gotta say, there were some nasty smells. You know, you're going on a 5-6 game winning streak, man. You know, sometimes you're like, damn, should we lose a game just to watch these bitches? You know?
Yeah.
So see, we don't only get the game, we get the inside scoop of, you know, Chris's baseball life, my baseball life, and all the nonsense that we do outside of YouTube.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So we'll go into the top of the fifth. Mets lead 1-0.
First time in his career. The White Sox lead the West Side 1-0 in the first inning, going for their fourth straight win. Michael Bush leading off the fifth. And he followed that fastball from Severino. The Twins, by the way, have won 7 in a row. They got Carlos Correa back with the injury list today, and they'll get their closer, Joan Direct, back with the injury list tomorrow.
They have won 11 of the last 12 against the Chicago White Sox.
Purple Sky to match the City Connect.
Damn. That was 3 pitches, 3 strikes. See ya.
Question, you know, maybe it's a little bit facetious.
Dealing.
With their purple themed uniform,
Yep.
gray. The Mets are not where the City Connects that day. Of course. Why not? We have a lot of purple in the baseball park that do. Well,
Yeah, Christopher, I played baseball for a long time, actually. I was a middle infielder. I played both shortstop and second base. So
Where'd you play? Second base and where else?
shortstop, middle infield.
Okay, I was a third baseman.
Yeah. I had my fair share of games at third base. Didn't like the angle, didn't like anything about third base.
Yeah. I like the hot corner. I don't know why. It was always just my favorite. I played a little second base when our second baseman used to pitch, but mostly I was third base.
Called up. The injury started mounting. Bellinger.
All right, Sevy would pick 2 outs in the 5th.
Rob, this game is going by so quickly. It's nuts. Not even an hour, and we're like halfway there. That's crazy.
Hey, I'm happy. If we can have a 2-hour stream and the Mets win, I'm happy.
I was gonna say, yeah, no need to extend it. Let's Mets win and make it a quick one.
It's Cody Bellinger trying to recover from a couple of fractured ribs. He's been moving around a little bit this week.
JL, salute. Hope all is well with you as well. We appreciate everyone being here, by the way. Thank you to everybody. Keep hitting the chat, all the good comments, and there you go. Severino's out of it, huh?
Sorry. Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to JL. He is a Braves fan, but he always supports my channel. And we always have a good back and forth. He's one of the Brave fans who is not an ass and like brings up good points about his own team and the Mets. So I do appreciate that. Those type of fans that are fans that actually know the game of baseball and not just being assholes because they're not a fan of the Mets. So I appreciate JL. He's always a supporter. All right, so bottom of the 5th, Mets lead 1-0. Again, let's score some runs for Severino. I mean, back-to-back days, the Mets basically didn't score no runs for their starting pitcher, and it almost cost them. It almost cost them yesterday. Hopefully, it doesn't cost us today. Got to get the runs, Chris. We're a broken record at this point, but you know it's a lot of lazy at bats, in my opinion, with the Mets right now.
Yeah, it is, and they're not making Taillon work, which is obviously a very cliched sort of thing you want to see out of your lineup, but it's very important. We're just not seeing that right now, unfortunately. And it's all fine and dandy now, but once Severino gets in some trouble, hopefully he doesn't. But if he does, then it's sort of a different way you approach the hitters with a 1-0 lead versus if you had a 3 or 4-0 lead. You know what I mean? You'll be a little bit more hesitant. So it absolutely makes a difference, not only to just win the ball game, but also just peace of mind for Severino. So yeah, I mean, we are a broken record at this point. Everybody in the chat's a broken record at this point in terms of wanting to see some offensive production. Nimmo first at bat, great result, 1-0, and then nothing since then. So let's turn that around this half inning.
Absolutely. And Jay DeVito, hey Rob, just wanted to say what's up and thanks for being cool at Citi Field when you met my nephew. Stand up, dude. I appreciate that. Again, don't be afraid to come up to me. I'm a normal person just like everybody else. Just because I have a YouTube channel doesn't mean I'm better than anybody else. So I do listen. Your nephews were awesome, and I do it again. That was awesome. I wish I had stuff to give them that day. I didn't bring my channel stuff. I would have gave them a ton of stuff, but hopefully I see you guys again, and I will have stuff whenever I head to Citi Field again. So I appreciate that. Bottom of the 5th, 1-0 Mets.
Didn't even let Dick Scott say a word. And he just said, Coach, I'm good. I've got work to do. Let's get to work. And he didn't put his head down. He got out there early. He worked on everything that the Mets had told him to work on. And he waited for his opportunity. And when he got it yesterday, he took advantage. And Syracuse was playing a doubleheader yesterday. Dick Scott said that somebody came to the dugout and said to the team, hey, guys, Vientos just hit a walk-off home run. And everybody, the coaches, the players, started hooting, hollering, cheering because of how he handled himself when he got sent down. Well,
I like to hear that about Vientos' personality and his demeanor once he got sent down and how he worked harder once he got sent down.
Yeah, and I think it helps knowing that you have management that will notice that, and it's not like cliche sort of you're gonna get sent down and you're just never gonna come back up. If you put in the work, if you get the results, you'll be back up. So that helps.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. That's noticeable by management, like you said, Chris. 100%.
Yeah.
You know,
Pedro Armstrong's out there in center field catching fly balls like he's been in the league for 20 years already.
Yeah, well, you know, his defense was one of the things the Mets loved about him, but he even came on right before they traded him. His bat that season was really, really good. So again, he's going to be. I think he's going to be a 5-2 player for the Cubs. Unfortunately, he's going to do it for the Cubs.
Yep. Yeah, he has all the tools. He looks good out there, man.
Oh, get out! End of the bat. Look good off the bat.
Yeah. Warning track. That warning track City Field power, man. I'm telling you, something needs to be done about that. Bring the fences in again if you have to, because it's warning track shot after warning track shot after warning track shot. It's nuts.
It really is. Like, I mean, you really got to barrel up the ball 100% at City Field. You can't hit it off the end of the bat and expect it to go out. This ain't Yankee Stadium. All right. Nito grounds out to end the inning. At the top of the sixth, Chris. I knew you were expecting a quick game because that's what I was expecting.
No, it really is. I mean, both pitchers are out there dealing. Offenses really aren't getting anything going. Undisciplined at bats. The Mets have the edge because of Mr. Brandon Nimmo. But, I mean, we can say it every half inning, Rob. Score some insurance runs, but it's not getting through to them right now. So hopefully Sevy, doesn't let anyone on base, keeps the walks down, and at this rate, I mean, he might be able to go 8 as well. So, I'm just hoping for an efficient game. But like when you have this so this is my thing with the Mets. I've seen this happen all too many times, and I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but how many times have we seen them get off to like 1 or 2 run leads very early and then stay stagnant for the rest of the game until the later innings of the game come by, and then whoever's on the mound at that point either gets fatigued, gets into a jam, and all of a sudden tie ball game, or the opposition takes back the ball game and the lead. So really want to avoid that tonight. We'll see how it plays out here shortly.
Yeah, and that's been the problem. Like, there's probably a handful, if not more, where the Mets did that, and I think they gotta really figure that out, because you can't go through dry spells like this when your pitchers are doing so well, because it's gonna burn you. It's gonna burn you eventually. Like, you're not gonna be perfect and win these ball games 1-0, 2-1. You're gonna win some of those games, but you're gonna get caught up in you don't want to lose those games, because it's gonna bite you in the ass later on in the season when these games are the games are so close, and the records are so close to the teams you're trying to get a wild card spot from. And that's where you're going to be like, well, in that game in April, that game in May, those add up. April, May, June, doesn't matter. Those games add up at the end of the season when it matters the most.
Yeah, I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. And Sanders, they better be paying Seymour Wiener, bro. He does not work for free, and he does not advertise for free. So they're paying that man.
I was at that game when they honored him on opening day. It was perfect.
Yeah. Another quick 0-2 count for Sevy. Holy cow. I mean, these are just nice pitchers counts he's getting into. And it's really those first pitch strikes, Rob, that really make a difference for a pitcher.
Yeah, Sevy's feeling it tonight, you can tell. The confidence, man. That's all that guy needs, is the confidence to go out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
How many strikeouts is that now for Severino?
Yep. And that wasn't a good pitch. That was kind of a frisbee right in the belt high, but he was probably expecting something else because he was a little late on that slider. Interesting. Being late on that slider.
Yeah, he kind of hung that one. But you see, like, the pep in his step, man. Like, the way he's throwing the ball is just unreal.
Well, yeah, the fans just booed. You don't bunt. But then again, it's only a one-run ball game, so I can't kill
Yeah.
him for that.
Yeah, I respect that though, because you know that they're trying to get something and they're trying to get something going. So if a bunt's what it takes, like I respect that from the young guy stepping up and being willing to try it at least.
Got him. Nice play, Jeff.
They play that feed from Pete Crow Armstrong is nuts. That he busted down that line. That was a tough play for McNeil on an otherwise routine ground ball. That's crazy.
Still got him by a full step.
Nice play. Frustrated about the infielders. They know they have to make that play before ball moves on. They know who's in the box. So it's about nobody
I'm
else.
kind of breaking up on my end a little bit, Rob. I just want to let you know that.
Yeah. 67 pitches for Sevy and the 6 for 2 outs. Great pitches so far. Amount of pitches so far. It's perfect. Another 0-2 count quickly. Wow.
You don't have as much information, but also you really have to be observant and see those.
Easy Bellinger's on the IL. Oh, yeah. All right. So another quick inning for Severino. Under 70 pitches through 6. Loving what Sevy's doing right now. Just beautiful.
It's beautiful. That's all I'm going to say
Just
about it. I mean, really, this
beautiful.
guy's putting on a show. He's got a pep, his
So when he
pep
hit
in his
that, I'm like,
step.
oh,
Yeah, the angle looked a little weird, but yeah, Rob, he's dealing tonight. He's on one. I love it.
he is. Hey, Chris, I gotta. I haven't said this before. Can we get some runs?
I agree with you, Rob.
Oh,
I
man,
agree with
gotta
you. We're a
get some
broken record tonight,
runs,
man.
guys. Gotta get some runs. Oh man, killing me. Robert. Let's see. How's Shay with the move? You know what? Shay is better with the move than I am. I'm the one stressed out. He's chilling. He's actually sleeping on his bed right across from me right now, just chilling. He's living the life. I'm stressed.
Shay's got to start paying rent over there.
I'm sorry if I'm lagging a little bit. Yeah, you ain't kidding. What does that work? Sorry, guys. My StreamYard's acting up right now. Apologies for that. Let's see. I think it's good. I'm not sure. Can you hear
A little
me?
bit delayed, Rob.
I think it's coming back a little bit better, but
Yeah. It's better now.
all right.
Robert said,
All right,
"Robot
cool.
Rob."
Bottom of the 6, 1-0 Met.
You know, the Mets have won 2 games in their history.
Rob left the stream. Yeah, Daniel. I don't know why Gary Cohen always likes to do that. Gary always does that. He is such a jinx, man, and not in a good way either. Like, love the commentating, great guy, but please, at some point, just learn to just be quiet and just stop being a jinx. But that goes back to the whole superstition conversation, anyways. So, Brandon Nimmo leading off, weak rounder to shortstop. Dansby Swanson gets the put away pitch or the put away. Tyone got the put away pitch, and this is a classic pitcher's duel, guys. Everyone at home, like this game is going quickly because it's a pitcher's duel. So great performances up there.
Sorry, that wasn't the Wi-Fi. I just blacked myself out like an idiot. Apologies, guys. Stupid man.
Nimmo grounded out to lead off the inning.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
New York Mets baseball on SNL, brought to you by Global Sports Stores with current offers. Visit MyFortNet.com. Sage, the official finance software partner of Major League Baseball.
Third time through the order, no problem so far for Tyone. He got Nimmo and Lindor to ground out. Just not great, like, contact. It's not good contact. He's inducing weak contact, and that's the most frustrating thing about it.
We're talking about Severino pitching really well. Tyone's pitching really well.
Yeah, it's classic pitcher's duel. Like what is that from Pete? That's a horrible swing. Like,
I don't know, man.
terrible.
Bad at bats by the Mets right now.
Yeah, he's kicking himself over there at first
Hey,
base.
listen,
That's
Sevy's
horrible.
pitching better than Tyone, but Tyone is keeping his team in the ball. Again, we've been talking about it. Tyone's pitching extremely well, keeping his team in the ball game. You know, a bloop in the blast, now you're down. That's what you worry about, as well as Sevy's pitching.
Yep. Mr. Nobody said it perfectly. Bad approach, swinging at garbage. Yeah. And it wasn't even about that, too. It's just like, that just swing. If you're going to swing, commit to the swing. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you get caught in between. I understand that, but it's not good.
100% agree. I'm gonna take away game day right now because it's still acting stupid. All right, guys. Apologies for that. Just give me a second. There we go. Don't mind my light. There we go.
Yeah, the game day really seems to affect StreamYard and the quality of it.
Yeah, you know, it never used to do that. It happened late last year as well, where game day just uses too much, like, I don't know. Like, I used to do it no problem. Like, no problem at all. And, you know, it's not the Wi-Fi. It's just the way it reacts to StreamYard for some reason. It doesn't respond quickly enough, I guess.
Yeah. Because, like, now you're perfect. Like, everything's perfect. Everything's good.
It's weird, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
All right. Top of the 7, 1-0 Mets.
It's getting you. Oh, look, another 0-2 count for Luis Severino. Who would have thought?
Yep.
He's got a razor blade slider to go with it.
That's very close.
in his career, Severino has taken a no-hit bid for 7. Back in 2022 in Texas, he was taken out of the game after 7. He's got a blown up pitch count, but he's going to be able to continue as long as he needs to.
Oh, where is that pitch?
That's ridiculous. That should be a strike. That should be a strike, yeah. Come on now.
He struck out 5. Trying to sit on the bench. Did not swing. Checked up the third base. To the top, but he was before just set the second base runner of the game for the Cubs.
Joke.
Besides machine.
See, and you just had to like have a feeling that it was coming. The umpire clearly misses strike 3, should have been a put away, gets back to 2-2 and hits the guy. Now he's on base. Like unbelievable. Yep. That's what frustrates me the most.
Let's get a double play here. Come on.
Yeah.
Last no-hitter, the second out, 2 years ago today. Down at first.
All right. Got the one out. Good job, Pete. Holding that line.
Just saves a double right down the line there. Trouble.
Good play. Pete's been playing a fine first base this year. I think that his defense looks pretty good this year, so I'm not going to complain.
And listen, he got the glove on it, got in front of it as much as he could to prevent it going down the line. Come on. Sevy's his arm is a little late when he's trying when he's going through his mechanics. So he's missing on that pitch that he's throwing, especially the slider. Oh, no. Come on, Jeff. Yeah. Double play, baby. Yeah. Made a base run and error. We'll take it.
I love how Jeff McNeil just and sorry, I'm delayed. I apologize. I wish I had the immediate reactions, but we just have to deal with it. But I love how Jeff McNeil just literally just stared at second base before he threw it. That's awesome. Good job, man. Sevy's fucking pitching phenomenally. This guy's a stud. And it's about time this damn offense gives him some run support. So gonna have to start with JD Martinez here in the bottom half of the inning. This is unacceptable right now. 1-0 is unacceptable. Get your guy who's literally battling out there and saving you all from embarrassment. Because what did I say, Rob, a couple of streams ago? I said this starting rotation is serviceable, right? They're going to have games where obviously they wow you, but for the most part, we know what we're going to get out of them, or at least what we know we can expect out of them. Keeping the offense in the ball game, which means around 3 to 4 runs given up, which means the offense has to produce. When you have a start like this from Luis Severino, to even think about tarnishing it or jeopardizing it by not scoring enough runs to protect this lead, it would be a joke. So I hope that changes in this half of the inning. And I'm sorry, I know the Mets are winning, and I know I'm complaining and nitpicking, but really, I'm trying to forward think. We cannot lose this game in this fashion.
Yeah, and it's not even being negative or complaining as we're winning, because that inning could have been a lot worse, right? If that ball goes over Jeff McNeil's head, it's a tie ball game, and now we're talking about Stevy's great outing, meaning basically nothing because the Mets didn't give him any runs. And that's the issue that I continue to have with this team. Is the pitching has been good the entire season, all 28 games, right? There's a couple here and there that you can probably pick a handful where the pitching wasn't good, but for the majority, it's been really good. And we always come back to the offense, and that the starting pitcher was supposed to be the most worrisome for us, and it's not. It's the offense. All right, bottom of the 7, JD Martinez. See if we can get some runs on the board. See if he hits one over the wall right here. Give us a little lead.
Let's do it.
Single to left. Later in that first set, it's a time of the 17 of 8.
JD loves first pitch swinging. I love it because he finds his pitch. That probably wasn't a good one right there, but I'm gonna trust him every single time.
Yep. Just watch the veteran here in JD Martinez. He's down 0-2. He's looking to go the other way.
Yeah.
100% looking to go the other way.
By time. 0-2 to JD. And takes upstairs 1-2. JD Martinez, 36 years old.
We just need to say that that was horrendous base running by Talkman last inning. I have no idea what was going through his head at all.
Woo. That's close. The veteran got that call, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure.
JD Martinez is going to go to right field here. Oh, tried to. Swung at an inside fastball. Come on.
Keep hitting those thumbs up, guys. If you're in the chat, we appreciate everyone being here tonight, dropping those comments. We appreciate it.
Absolutely, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us during the Mets game once again. Oh, thank you, Wings.
Yeah. I should have been cranked by Mr. McNeil because that was just middle heart of the plate.
Yep.
Yeah, Rob, our schedule's starting to free up a little bit. We might have to do another in-game or two before the week is over. So hopefully everybody in the chat is liking the commentary.
Absolutely. And McNeil gets the hit. All right.
Nice Oppo approach, taking it where it's pitched. That slap version of Jeff McNeil is undefeated. I mean, really, I know some people love the power aspect, but some players, that's what they do. Luis Arias does the same damn thing. So
The best McNeil is what you just saw.
exactly.
Come on, Tyrone, let's go. Come on.
Second, right over to. This is his third start of the year. He has gone beyond 5 2/3 in third of his Pirates. He's for 6 1/3 today, but with a very low pitch.
Love to see a gapper here from Mr. Taylor.
I'll take it, man. I'll take it. Get that run home.
Driving that ball inside the run. So it starts down the middle to be right-handed hitters. It gets in on their feet. So it's breaking balls.
I wouldn't be opposed to a little hit and run action here. I know it's like small ball and it has a little bit of a risk to get a double play like last inning from the Cubs, but
Yep.
Big gap in that right side of the infield. I'm sorry, Warner way. He'll run. Stifler flies it to right. He'll slide up.
Shit. Oh, that was tough for Taylor because it was a hit and run call. So put the bat on the ball so you don't get the runner get caught at second.
was McNeil going?
Yeah.
See, man, I told you, like the hit and run was a great play there.
Yeah, it would have been.
Right on par.
And again, Tyron Taylor's got to protect the runner there, so he's got to.
Yeah. What count was that? Was that 2-1? Did I see?
I think it was.
I got to start paying attention to these counts, but I'm looking at my tiny phone right here because it's actually ahead of my TV. So,
All right, Mark, come on.
salute, Tony. Appreciate you being here. Let's go, Mets.
That's a nice play.
Yeah, that was a great play.
the story right now is Severino putting up zeros through 7, coming out for the 8th inning. Mets still lead 1-0. So, Chris, how you feeling?
Well, it's a barn burner, so we'll see if Sevy can keep this going. Just keep getting ahead in pitchers counts, man. I think that's been Severino's bread and butter all night long. You see how many 1-2, 0-2 counts he gets in ahead of hitters. That is where he succeeds because at that point, as a hitter, you have to think, which of the 4 off-speed pitches that he has is he going to be coming at me with? And once you get a hitter thinking about that as a baseball player, your mind just starts racing, you start guessing, and that's where he's got you right where he wants you. So love that. The strategy for Severino always, it should be a standard for every pitcher, but especially for Severino, with the gift that he has of having so many pitches, get ahead of these batters.
Absolutely. And that's what he's done through 7 so far. And just think, this game is so quick. We're an hour and 20 minutes into a baseball game, and it's the 8th inning. Like, if that's not quick, like, that's that's crazy right now. That's really crazy.
Yeah. It sort of helps that time sort of helps when you have some non-competitive at bats, but also just the flip side of things, the pitching has been stellar. So
Correct. So let's see. The Mets didn't really do anything again offensively, but Severino's holding it down. Let's see. What did he have? A little just under 70 pitches coming out of, or was it around 75? If I'm not mistaken. I forgot what it was. I think he was low 70s. Yeah. All right, here we go. Top of the 8th, 1-0 Mets. Joey Wendell's in the game. Interesting.
he replaced Vientos. Yep.
Thinking so. That's interesting.
I don't like that move. Just let the kid play.
Yeah, that's an odd move.
Mr. Mendoza, though, we've been saying that, so trust in it, I guess. Daniel in the chat's got it in for Gary Cohen tonight. I love it.
Come on, Sevy. Let's go. He's got 83 pitches, by the way, so his pitch count's pretty good. Oh, where was that pitch? Come on. Don't squeeze him now. Oh.
That would have been nice if he got that.
Shit. Come on.
Oh. If he's at a 105 to end this inning, would you just bring in Diaz? What do you think, Rob?
Oh, that's a tough call, man. I don't know. I walked him. That's not good.
Not good.
You know what? I said this before the game started. I just want to win. So, fuck the no-hitter.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, get the W. Like, you can't lose this game, especially the way Sevy's pitching.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you can see, like MEZ said in the chat too, he's starting to tire a little bit, aiming some pitches. We'll see. Hopefully he pulls through here. Double play would be huge.
See if we can get a double play out of Montevino's warming up in the bullpen. That's a good call by Mendoza. Make sure you have somebody up just in case.
Yeah.
Nice pitch. He can't hit that pitch. Throw it again.
What is that? It looks like a little two-seamer running in.
Yep, absolutely what that is. Well, you can't hit it.
Lethal pitch to the righties.
Ooh.
four-seam fastball guy goes to this plate.
Did he get him on the foot? No. You got back. Come on, Savvy, let's
So
go.
I like it.
To the swamp, to the purpose of it.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
He didn't get that ball inside enough. Good
Yeah.
job.
Getting pulled.
Shit. All right, Hefner's on the mound. Talking to Sevy right now, but the no-hit bid is over. He tried to get it inside one more time with that fastball, but didn't get it in as much as he did on the first two, and he got the first two a little more down. So unfortunately, the no-hit bid is out. But now it's all about the winning of the ball game. They got first and second, one out. So yeah,
Yep.
I mean, sorry, first, second, nobody out. Excuse me. So now you got to win the ball game here. This might be his last batter. Come on, Fabio, let's go.
Gary Cohen strikes again. Yeah, Carlos. Rob said no hitter on this stream, not me. I didn't say anything about a no hitter.
I said it numerous times. The fact is, I don't care about a no-hitter. I want to win the ball game. Santana did it. I can die in peace now. All right. I don't need another one. I need a W here. Come on, Sevy, let's go.
Nervous as you don't get it. You can see him as soon as he got in the box, couldn't wait to swing that bat. No need to throw him another strike for the Oaks to count.
Yeah, you got to bury one in the dirt here. He went. Oh, come on. Jesus. Did he hold it? Yeah, I guess so.
I think he held it.
All right, so he's 93 pitches in. First, second, nobody out. Mets up 1-0. This has got to be his last batter. What do you think, Chris?
Yeah.
Double play?
Yeah, this is
Ah. Uh-oh, I think Severino's hurt. Uh-oh.
no.
It's okay, it's okay. He's walking it off. Uh-oh. Jesus Christ.
It's a 3-6 fielder's choice for the first inning, but now the concern is for Severino. This is always concerning. We have covering first with a pitcher.
Oh, his knee hit his arm or something.
I thought he got kicked in the shin. I thought he was going by.
He had his foot in a bad spot, right? He had to sit his best to try to avoid it.
Oh, his elbow hit his thigh. Okay. Ouch. Probably hit the funny bone.
Yeah, it's good too, though, that his arm was bent like that to absorb some
Yeah.
of the impact. So that's at least good.
Yeah, it could have hit his funny bone, lose a little bit of feeling in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good. All right. One out, first and third. Come on.
I'm curious, you wouldn't make a change right now. I think that this would be the perfect time to make the change.
Yeah, it's tough though. Like Ottavino with runners on scares the hell out of me.
Me
But
as well.
yeah, easy. I agree. Pete Pete's not good at turning double plays like that. He's not very good with his footwork like that. Like he can catch the ball. That's not a problem. It's just throwing that's an issue. You know, he made sure he got the force at second, but yeah, let's see. Corners are in. And in the middle is double play depth.
Yeah. They're watching for the squeeze attempt here.
Yeah, gotta be careful. Oh, gotta be squeezing them now. Come on,
Where was that pitch? It's a strike.
So far this year. Interesting move by Craig Counsell. You have everything on Gomes, not granted. Gomes comes into the game. Double play possible. Double play. Okay. Willie Harris. Open bats. Approaching third. In the year of Bush.
I think this should be Sevy's last batter at the minimum.
I hope so. Throw it home. No. You got to throw home. You got to throw home.
What is he doing? You play in for that reason. This is why I don't need Joey Wendell in the game, bro. This is why I don't need him in the game. He can't even play defense. You had him dead to rights at home plate.
Got to throw it home there. Way too slow. That ball was hit way too soft. You're playing in. He would have got him at home. Oh, God. Easy out at home.
Not even a question. It's my goodness.
Oh, come on, man. That's why we put him in for defense.
Mark Vientos would have thrown home. We said it. As soon as we saw Joey Wendell's ass in this game, we said it. Why is he in this game?
It's not like he's been good defensively this year.
Just boneheaded, man.
Alien, how you doing, buddy? Damn it.
And now you don't have Vientos' bat in the lineup anymore. You got Joey Wendell. So
easy. It wouldn't have been a bang play. He would have been out by a mile easily. And at the very least, the best play with a slow ground ball is home. You weren't turning two. And he popped it up. That's a dangerous. Beta should have it. Nimmo got it. And that ends the inning. God damn it.
This is why we keep preaching, get some runs. Like, absolutely. You knew that Severino was going to get into a situation like this. Like, it makes no sense. You get your leadoff guy, get you on the board, and then you're lethargic the whole game. And then I said it. I didn't want to say it back then a couple innings ago when everything was fine and dandy, but I said it. And this is exactly what happens. Now we're in a tie ball game, and we virtually waste a gem from Luis Severino. And what Joey Wendell, I'm just going to say this right now. Some people are saying to get rid of him when Marte comes back. Yeah, you let this bum go because honestly, like, I hate to say it. I know his bat's coming around a little bit more, but dude, the defense, if you're going to be there as a veteran presence, right? We let go of Luis Guillorme to get you in replacement. Essentially, it was a swap. And this guy's playing abysmal defense as well. Like, what are we doing here?
I questioned the move as soon as I saw it. I'm like, Vientos made two nice plays. They're simple plays, but what we've seen from Vientos, he struggles with those plays, and he did a good job. Like, I just don't understand. Like, you put in a veteran at third base who's not been good defensively this year. I understand he's a veteran, but in that situation, a veteran should know better. It was a broken background ball. You're playing in. You're not going to turn to double play. You got to go home. Even if the runner would have beat it at home, it was the smart play. Not trying to turn to double play. The double play wasn't even close. He was safe by a mile at first.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about if he goes home there with a good throw, a decent throw, he has him dead to rights at home plate. There's no question about that. But
you know what? Even if the runner beats it, it's still the smart play to go home, regardless. God, 90. All right. Well, Tyone's still in the ball game. 1-1 game. Bottom of the 8th. Harrison made her up. Fuck me.
72 pitches through 7. Basically, 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the bench order in the bottom of the 8th. And Bader grounds one short, circling in Swanson.
I'll be right back, guys.
So now this is where the tide sort of shifts in terms of the momentum category, in my humble opinion, because now Tyone is throwing a gem. Obviously, the whole sort of momentum was hinging on the no-hitter, which was lost. Now the Cubs tie it up, and they still have their starter out there, good to go, probably 9 innings because he's only at 74 pitches. So not great. The Mets offense needs to sort of clutch up here because this would be a heartbreaker.
Not to go so much. Maybe he thought he was going to get a real slow jump out of the box. That's why he wanted to go around the corner. I wonder if the breaking of the bat changes the nature of the play. Never really looked at the runner coming in. Maybe unknown about the speed of Michael Bush coming in from third base.
Unbelievable. I can't believe he did that.
Sure. You know, ball doesn't get something. I'll tell you what, it's a nice 1-2 punch right there.
Oh, I'll take it.
Nice.
You know, Nito's slow as shit.
How is Nito almost still thrown out on that kind of play? Is he okay? Like, you can't be that slow. That's horrible.
Something, man, I tell you.
So, Rob, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
I
what's
want
up?
to ask you this. Why, unless something is seriously wrong with Brett Beatty, why would he not be the guy to go in there for defensive replacement with the way he's been showing the glove this season instead of Joey Wendell? If you're trying to play matchups too, that's another lefty. Are they pulling Tyone?
Yep.
Whoa. He wasn't even at 80 pitches.
I don't know. Maybe there's a pitch count. Was he injured and just coming off the IL or something?
I think this is the classic case. So everyone at home, when we talk about the new age of baseball, this is exactly, you're seeing it right now with the Cubs and what they just did. Leadoff hitter, 4th time around in the order. Obviously, statistically, they've already seen you 3 times. The 4th time, you're much more likely to have success. I don't think anything was wrong with Tyone there. I think that the Cubs and Craig Counsell's playing the advanced analytics game and saying 4th time through the plate with the lineup, I'm going to just bring in a fresh arm, someone that they haven't seen tonight. And honestly, I hate that. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a fan of that. He was rolling, and he had 1 out, and a double play ends the inning, and you have him for the 9th still. So I don't like that move, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I'm so sick of the freaking analytics nonsense where they try to justify a move based on analytics, and when they try to bring up analytics to justify a move, and Shay woke up, as you guys can see, walking all over me. He's like a little drunk. I'm sorry, guys. What are you doing? Yeah, I know. You're tired. You sleep all day. I'm sorry, guys. As you can see, he has to be camera ready before anything else. But yeah, like I don't know. When they try to justify it with analytics, I always feel like 99% of the time it's the wrong move when you have to use analytics to justify a move. It's just stupid. It really is. Benefits the Mets though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is too, and the Mets have an opportunity to show everybody why it would be a stupid move. Because to be honest with you, nothing about what the Mets did offensively, even in this inning with that Nito base knock, whatever, however you're scoring that, inspired any confidence that they were going to figure out Tyone. I thought that was just a unfortunate play for the third baseman. I mean, he hit it hard, but really, theoretically, Nito should have still been thrown out, and now Tyone's suffering because of it. I don't understand it, and I think it's a dumb move, but nonetheless.
I agree. All right, Nimmo's up 1 out, 1-1 game, bottom of the 8th.
This is a sign of the cutter. Let's see his numbers this year. This game on his first game.
Lolo, appreciate the support from Mexico, buddy.
Against the Mets, the best. Nimmo, though, has 2 home runs against Mark Lamb Jr.
Uh-oh. Get out! Get out! Oh, another warning track power.
Morning track power at City Field. It's a tale as old as time, man. It really is infuriating.
The Mets have the best warning track power in baseball at City Field, man. I tell you.
Yeah.
I think Nimmo already had that. It must be the wind. Has to be a little bit of the wind coming in. Has to be. Coming off the water.
You got a sick mohawk, though. Come on, Lindor.
I'm calling it right now. I know people are going to hate me in the chat. Lindor's going deep. Why not? It's not like they're hitting anyway, so I can't really jinx them.
Rally Shea, bringing it into existence, hopefully.
Shea's had enough of the Mets. He's on his back right now with the paws up, rubbing his stomach. That's it. He's done. All right, you guys can see his paw right here.
He should just go back to sleep because this offense is putting me to sleep.
Yeah, I know. You got the right idea, buddy. You sleeping. They suck.
Pretty good curveball there.
Yeah.
Is Lindor wearing like some prescription shade kind of things?
Yeah.
I've never seen him wear that. Interesting.
We haven't seen him with the purple.
All right, I feel like we need some life, man. I feel like we need some life.
Rally cat. Let's go. Shay's like, fuck this, I'm done.
Those look like Oakley's on Lindor's head right now. Those look pretty sweet. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's clearly nighttime, so I'm wondering if those are just prescription.
Well, the way he's been hitting, he needs glasses. Yeah, at least left-handed.
Dude, Tomas Nido is hilarious on the base paths, man. Oh, jeez. Not even a gapper scores Nido here, so.
I don't know. Slow-ass Nito. They should have pitched ran for him.
This would have been the time, but then you'd have Narvaez in extra innings, and that's probably showing a lot about their confidence in Narvaez.
Wow. Oh, I told you Lindor was going to ground out. Nobody listened to me.
All right, guys. I mean,
we better not fucking lose this game.
You know what, though? Give me a shutdown Edwin Diaz inning and give me a walk-off from either Pete or JD. Maybe JD's first homer as a Met, right? I don't think he's homered yet, so let's get him on the board.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a blur this weekend, Rob, with the Cardinals series. I was kind of paying attention, but between the Knicks games, the Rangers series, I was just sort of in and out of it too. So it's good to be back here and finally back on par with the scheduling, and we appreciate everyone else being here with us too.
Absolutely. You know, the Rangers are done for a little bit, and the Knicks are looking to close out Philly. So, and of course, my MLB likes to go crazy.
I'll be right back.
Yep, no problem. All right, guys. So we're waiting for the top of the ninth. Diaz is coming in once again in a non-save situation again because the Mets can't fucking score runs, and that's what we're dealing with right now. And this is the biggest problem with this team right now. Again, I wasn't so concerned about the offense early in, start the year, but I'm starting to think like this offense is going to cause this team to have a lot of problems, man. I tell you, it's a huge issue right now, and you just gotta they gotta figure out something. Like, putting Vientos in the lineup today, I like it, but he didn't really do nothing today either. So it's like it's just the same thing again. Where are the core guys? Where is the Alonso? Nimmo got the first home run, first run of the ball game on a leadoff home run, great, but he didn't do nothing after that. But he got the home run at least. He did something. The Lindors, Alonso's, like where are these guys? They're coming up in spots where they can do damage, and they don't do damage. This is getting to the point now where it's really, really getting frustrating right now. And it's really frustrating, guys. Really, really frustrating. Oh, Lord. I just don't get it, guys. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for my MLB app to go, work again, because when you don't touch the remote for a long time, it like kind of knocks you out. But we'll see if the Mets can actually do something in the bottom of the ninth. But let's see if Diaz can put that shutdown inning for us. And we'll be okay, hopefully. Because I'm going to be really pissed if we lose this game.
Yeah, me too. Yep, this shouldn't even be an even ball game right now, but
three pitches, 3 strikes. See ya.
Edwin is so elite, man. I mean, that slider is just absolutely nuts, and then he comes back at you with like 99. Unbelievable. Rob, I'm really excited for the third game of this series. I really want to see Shota Imanaga posting a sub-1 ERA right now. It was an incredible signing, cheap deal too, and that's someone I wanted the Mets to sign this offseason, but obviously he wanted me to come.
100%.
Mine to second base and was doubled off second. Not an over 2, reach base when he was hit by
Come on.
So.
Oh, that's in the gap. Shit.
Down for a base hit, goes to the wall. Talkin heads for second. He's instead going to wind up. So Talkin gets a goal.
All right, let's work out of it now. It's fine.
He's to go ahead and run and scoring position with one at fastball. Hit it right where it was pitched.
Good piece of hitting. Didn't try to do too much.
Yeah.
Come on, Edwin, let's go. Don't throw that pitch again. Now, Diaz speed is a little down today. 96, 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, I've been noticing that as well in the early goings of the season. I try not to make any sort of assumptions on that, but
Chris, I'm not 100% sure. CP might know that. Who did the Knicks play if they beat Philly?
they play the winner of the Pacers-Bucks series, and the Pacers are up 3-1 right now.
Oh, that'd be cool playing Pacers, Knicks, old school.
Yeah, and then you got Halliburton versus Brunson would be a hell of a series, but
Struck him out. That's a good pitching by Diaz right there. Didn't play with him.
There we go. You see? You bend, but you don't break. Edwin Diaz is the epitome of that. Let's get this last out and let's go win the ball game.
He got that up to 97, so when he needs it, he gets it. Oliver's like, please don't hit the ball with Joey.
Yeah,
he
pretty much.
Might throw it into the stands, and the run comes in. Where's that pitch?
It's right down the middle. Goodness, man. This I'm struggling a little bit. Unbelievable.
This team makes me drink.
Yeah.
Come on, Ed. Come on, Edwin. Let's go.
Yeah, thinking the next circle before. He's gonna make this pitch. Who's up next?
Daenerys has been saving games lately out of a couple.
Oh, no.
The wall is out here. Christopher Morel gives the Cubs the lead with a 2-1 home run. Diaz at the top of the fourth home run of the year for Morel, and the Cubs lead for the first time tonight. It's 3-1.
Oh,
That slider stayed inside.
This is what happens when you don't score runs. This can happen.
Bills have big.
you just knew it was gonna happen too. You just knew it was gonna happen too. I had that feeling the whole damn night, probably from the fourth inning on when we let the foot off the gas. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Well, this is all on the offense. I'm sorry. Like, Edwin Diaz can't be perfect all the time. That's why you have to score runs. But this is exactly what we were talking about, Chris.
Yeah. It's just infuriating, man. It's infuriating. Really, it really is.
Santos yesterday, the team winner. Hitters are starting to get occasionally to that high fastball.
So now the Mets' old nemesis, Severino, who saved a lot of games for the Phillies against the Mets. Although the Mets got to at times during that tenure as well. Get ready to close for the Cubs. So Martinez third run and insurance service for you to dollar. It was large. He's recently taken over that closer for let's hold that first about over.
You know, KT, we can talk about Joey Wendell all we want, but the one run shouldn't have mattered. You got to score runs regardless. You can't win one-run ball games, expect this to happen. Like, it's just, you can't do this. You can't. The offense is a no-show once again. 2 games in a row when he had outstanding starts. We got lucky yesterday. So Mets get last chance in the 9th, 3-1 Cubs, 2-run homer by Morel. Again, you can blame Joey Wendell. Listen, we all blamed him, right? But it goes back to the offense. You had all game to score runs and add to the lead, and you don't get insurance runs. And this is what happens. One bad slider, and the ball's over the wall, and now you're losing. And now you got to hope Alonso, Martinez, McNeil at least ties the ball game and get the extra innings at the very least. Like, I mean, I didn't like the call bringing in Joey Wendell, but it comes back down to the offense. Because, yeah, that might have not – if Joey Wendell had thrown home and we would have gotten him out and it was still a 1-0 ball game, who to say that Diaz wouldn't have blown the save and give up the 2-run homer anyway, and we'd still be losing, right? It's a turn of events. But it goes back to the offense. Like me and Chris, like a broken record, we're talking about the whole game. And this is what happens. This is what happens when you don't add on to your lead. A bloop and a blast, a walk and a home run, this is what happens. And, Diaz can't be perfect. So, Diaz is hung a ball. What are you going to do? You tip your cap, hit it over the wall. But it goes back to the offense. Listen, this is the problem. We keep on going back. Lindor, Alonso, Nimmo before the home run, after the home run. Like, they didn't do nothing else. And this is the problem. They all get cold at the same time, and it's an anemic offense, Chris. This is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm speechless. I got no words for these guys like that.
And,
Like
and,
I
and
knew it was
doing this
I
shit.
knew it was coming. Like I kind of was alluding to that fact if the Mets weren't going to tack on runs, we're going to be in big trouble because we've seen this book over and over and over again throughout the years. But it's just like at a certain point, you see it too much and you become numb to it. So
Correct.
Wendell definitely just a head ass play. Like he
It
literally
is.
just is a head ass. Like he should have
But
definitely went like from third to home easy, obviously.
that play
But the
doesn't matter
offense
if you get insurance runs.
But the offense needs to be better. Like every single one of them needs to be better.
Yep.
So
All right, Hector Neris is in for the save. We got Alonso, Martinez, McNeil. Let's get it done. Come back. I want to see the fight. Where's the fight? I'm sick and tired of the fans fighting where I don't see the core fighting. Let's go.
Yes. He's starting to get him in trouble.
Ah, that was a good swing.
In those days, he used to go 95, 96 miles an hour. He's come back to the field, but he's in his lower 90s and shooting now. But people that have played with him say one thing: he'll take the ball anytime, anywhere. On the rubber arm kind of relievers.
He's got 3 saves this year. He saved his thing. He's 28 this year.
Another inside pitch. He's in a lot of pitch.
I for sure thought he was getting punched out there, Rob.
Me too. Listen, he's going to challenge Alonso because a home run doesn't tie the game. So
Yeah.
that's a good take. That's that slider that eats him up all the time. Come on, Pete, get on base, baby. Come on. Be smart up there. There you go.
And now it's 3-2. He is 2 for 11 against Darius. J.D. Martinez on deck is 3 for 6 against. With the base runner into that game one. 2.
All right, good at bat, Pete. Good job.
Walk.
You know you're going to get on base there. All right, here it
Come on,
goes.
JD.
Go to the plate. Come on.
I
Go.
grab a different hat for the rally hat.
Got good numbers against Neris.
This is now about 10 batters in 9 innings this year. And JD takes fastball. Diaz 1 for 3 tonight. Single left back in the first. 4 hits and 12 at bats. He's joining the Mets. Looking for his first home run after hitting 33 last year. In 2/3 this season for the Diamondbacks.
Rally caps on.
Get out. Oh, he got under that ball. I'm sorry, guys. That's my fault. He got it at the end of the bat. It looked good off the bat.
You fooled me.
I'm sorry. It looked good. It looked good. It was a hanger, too. Just
Oh.
he knows it. Oh. A little bit later, that ball's bounced up and over the fence. It looked good. All right, come on, Jeff. Damn it.
Come on, Jeff.
That's a good defensive indifference right there for Pete. You don't get the double place opportunity there.
Yeah, you take away the force. I like it too.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, Jeff was definitely looking fastball there.
Yep.
Well, Chris, interesting. Brett Beatty has the helmet on, so he could have played third, not Joey Wendell. Interesting.
I would have just rather seen Brett Beatty out there instead of Joey Wendell.
Unless they don't want him to play the field yet. No. Thank you, you didn't call that the whole night. All right, come on.
This is like seeing the same rerun. Good left Maurice always. Catch it by your nails. You're the manager. So first at bat.
Mendoza's getting amped in that dugout, huh?
For 16. There's a man delivering the only hit. With out of the 11. Ball in the dirt. Sometimes you can get some dirt to come up in your eye. They wear contact lenses. That's a no-no.
The contact issue here? What's going on?
Yeah, it looks like it. That's right. Let Nerese think on that mound. Because he can get wild and can't find a plate.
Yeah. I mean, we know that Nerese benefited from the Houston Astros pitching lab, but curious to see how he follows up a couple of great seasons in that Houston organization, getting a nice deal with the Cubs.
Yep. Come on, Jeff. Smart at bat here. And Jeff called the timeout.
I would automatically take this pitch.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. And I hate saying that because I never say that, and I'm never in that camp, but I think right here would be a smart move to do.
Yeah.
3-1 coming from there. And he steps up. If he's barking at him, he's barking at him because he thinks he might be getting a low kick.
Is Pete playing with Nerese out there? Nerese is just shaking his head no.
Good. Yeah. There you go. Come on. Good at bat, Jeff.
Told you.
2 walks to the first 3 hitters.
Come on, let's work some at bats here.
Tommy Honaby, the pitching coach, will go on to talk to Eric and further make him not throw the ball home. I mean, this is a big guy to go out and have a chat with him, but it's just we've seen the race for so many years.
This is Nerese in a nutshell. If he doesn't find a plate, he has trouble, getting batters out. So DJ Stewart pitching it for Tyrone Taylor. Interesting. It must be Tyrone has bad numbers against Nerese. It's the only reason. Because I don't think it's lefty-righty matchup.
Maybe Stewart can find one and park one out of the yard. Who knows? I mean, I don't know.
Come on, DJ. Let's go.
Not a big fan of this move either, but we'll see how it plays out.
Listen, let's keep it going. Get a base hit here. Make it harder for Nerese to get out of this game. There you go. You got to wait for your pitch here. Nerese can't find a plate.
Yep, he's struggling out there with his command.
Come on, DJ, let's go. There you go. He can walk in all the runs.
He's not coming back with that fastball. It's just like he's missing badly with the off speed. You think a fastball's coming. Honestly,
fastball either.
Fastball right here, you could just drive it over the fence.
Oh, he threw a 2-0 slider. Yeah, I was suspecting fastball there. Yeah, I don't mind DJ swinging there, but he was looking for.
DJ was expecting that fastball too, Rob.
Yeah, he was looking for that fastball. Nice pitch. That's a great pitch right there.
Yeah. Painting. All right.
Come on.
Struck him out. Oh my goodness. If Beatty hits a walk-off right here, then you got to DFA Wendell ASAP. Right after the game's done.
Yeah.
His services will no longer be needed.
Joey Wendell with number of games of defense. The answer starting at third base. Well, Beatty had a good double yesterday. Struggled and suspended him for a couple of days at the sidelines with hamstring. Turned out a swing for 2 out of the bottom side. Runs on the base. Takes first base.
That was a pitch to hit that first pitch too.
Yeah.
Facing Aries for the first time. It's a
Ah.
So second, the first to the big.
That was a good swing. Damn it.
Come on, Brett.
Oh my Lord.
Pitches that he's having call. He's getting he's close. The third pitch of the inning. Beatty grounds that one down.
Oh, he's putting a good at bat together.
We'll take it.
His last two spurts to the left-handers have been down and in.
Come on, Brett.
Playing as deep as they can play. Keep that time going. Scoring first. So he got 1-2. The splinter comes with the ball game. Disappointment.
Oh.
Horrible. I
Yep.
mean, there's nothing else to say about this game other than that the offense should be an absolute shame of themselves. That's a horrible way to open up a series. That's a horrible way to squander a gem by Luis Severino, who pitched his ass off for you all to just go out there and let him down. He needed to be perfect tonight to win the ball game. And anytime you expect your starting pitcher to be perfect, you didn't do your job as an offense collectively. And we're going to keep saying it until they just change something. Something has to change. What we saw tonight is not acceptable.
Yep, exactly. You can talk about Joey Wendell. It was a bad mind block move. It was a stupid baseball decision. It is. I'm not going to overly kill Mendoza for it because that one run, that play at home shouldn't have been the difference of tying a ball game. The Mets offense is the problem today. I'm sorry. You can't get no runs through 8 innings and then you end up behind in the 9th and expect for another miracle to happen again. And we were talking about this the entire game. You can't keep on doing this because it's going to bite you in the ass. And it bit them in the ass in the 9th inning. Diaz has been really good. He hung a slider. What are you going to do? But it goes back to the offense, right? Sevy pitched good. Joey Wendell, stupid mistake, not going home. Fine. But it might have prevented that first run to score, but it might have not prevented the 2-run homer anyway in the ninth inning. It could have been a 2-1 ball game. The Mets weren't scoring. It's a huge difference. I don't know what to say. It's this offense, you squander games like this, it's gonna bite you in the ass when you lose. If you don't make the playoffs and you miss it by a few games, we're gonna go back to games like this where you should have won, Chris.
And I agree with you 100%, but just breaking down, and that's absolutely true. Like, you do look back at these sort of games and you're like, well, if you end the season one game back, you look at it like, oh, you should have won this game, and we could probably pick a handful. Like, this probably isn't going to be the only game that they do this. Like, let's be honest, it's a long season. So my thing here is that, just some quick post game thoughts. My thing is that the process was all screwed up today. You look at Jameson Taillon, it was a gift that they took him out to begin with under 80 pitches. He could have been in there and thrown a complete game, probably not a shutout, obviously, because they had the home run, but he probably could have pitched a complete game, to be honest with you. So lucky that they took him out, couldn't take advantage of the bullpen. Just bad baseball. The at-bats weren't competitive whatsoever. There was not many great swings. I think the bad at-bats definitely outweighed the good at-bats, right? I mean, Pete Alonso just looking like an absolute fool up there in the one at-bat and a half swing. You got Francisco Lindor, a couple of weak groundouts on par to what he usually does from the left side. And I hate to keep beating that drum, but the splits are very obvious when you take a look at that. And you can say that he had a great game in San Francisco, obviously, from the left side. And he's starting to be a little bit better there from the left side. I will give him credit where credit's due, but it's not Lindor, it's not Pete, it's not just on them. And I understand the whole point of the core, but just the entire offense looked very anemic today outside of the initial at-bat from Brandon Nimmo. That goes like Mark Vientos didn't really have great at-bats today. He was kind of swinging out of his shoes, right? Got the start after a phenomenal walk-off home run. I could go one by one, Rob, and we can analyze and assess. Tyrone Taylor really has been phenomenal. Didn't really put impressive at-bats together, right? We could go one by one and sort of handpick at-bats from each player to be like, that's not acceptable. And bad at-bats are going to happen. Like, just the same that we can't expect a pitcher to be perfect, these hitters are not always going to be perfect. But it's a difference when you do it over the course of 3 or 4 at-bats in a game and you let your previous at-bats kind of creep up into your next at-bats. And that's what I think we saw today. You got to just learn to forget the bad at-bats and come in with a completely different mindset in your next at-bat. And that's not what the Mets did today. And that, coupled with the fact that Joey Wendell really just had a boneheaded decision. You're a veteran and your manager. I didn't like some of the moves that Carlos Mendoza he did today, right? And I'm being objective about it. I give Carlos Mendoza his flowers because he's absolutely deserved them. And we did that on the pregame show. Today was a little bit of a mismanaged ball game, if I'm being completely objective. And I understand why he had Wendell out there. It's not like Carlos Mendoza turned a button on in Wendell's brain to say throw to second base instead of home plate. That's Wendell's decision at the end of the day, and he's the veteran.
Yeah.
Frustrating, man. And I know I'm ranting, and I think that this post game deserves a rant from us because that was as bad of a ball game. Like, it leaves a sour taste in our mouths. Like, you just squandered. We keep talking every stream about we need more length out of the starting pitching. We need more length. We need more length. Okay, Quintana gave it to you yesterday, and you have Severino 2 days back-to-back. You almost didn't come back yesterday and didn't win the ball game. You did, which is great. But, man, Rob, I don't know what else to say. There's so many things running through my head right now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mendoza has done a lot of good things. Again, are you going to kill him for Joey Wendell's decision? No, because you understood the idea. Put it in the veteran late in the ball game. Fine. Again, we've all played defense before. We all made mental mistakes. That was a mental mistake by Joey Wendell. It happens to the best of them. But again, that moment never needed to happen because of the fact that the offense didn't score. We could talk about everybody we want, but it was, like you said, bad at bats by Alonso, bad at bats by Lindor. After Nimmo hit the 1 home run, his at bats weren't very good. He got that walk when it was a good walk, great, perfect. But their best at bats from the big guys, like Alonso, that was a great at bat in the ninth inning. He needed to get on in front of JD Martinez. That home run didn't matter there. He did that. But again, it goes back to the same thing. And we talked about the whole freaking game. You got to put better at bats together. You got to learn from the mistakes. And they're not doing that. I talked about Vientos not learning from his mistake. Make sure he learned from his next at bat. These are veterans now. Alonso's been in the league for a while. Lindor's been there a while. Nimmo, McNeil, all of them have been there long enough to learn from each at bat, and they're just taking bad at bats, and it's just frustrating. We could talk about hitting. They don't hit at home. They hit on the road. This is an entire season worth of nonsense, right? This is what it is. And they gotta get it together. Like this is a situation where what? I'll go in tomorrow. You know how many people I'd be sitting tomorrow, and I'd be putting somebody else who's on the bench right now and playing. I tell you right now,
Yeah.
I would make an example because this is a game you should not lose. Now, look, we should have lost the Cardinals game. We should have lost that, right? We got lucky. Let's be honest about that. And the Cubs are trying to give us this game. Bad base running by the Cubs. It's not like the Cubs played good, right? Bad base running. They had bad at bats, right? One hanger of a slider turned the whole ball game around late in the ball game. Why? Because the offense was anemic the entire game, Chris. And we can keep on talking about it, but it's the same thing. And just look, you heard what Stern said today. Evaluation, and he does not wait until things get so bad, then make changes. I'm telling you right now, we lose the series against the Cubs, this roster is going to change a little bit by the time we end up on the road. I tell you that right now. If it's DJ Stewart going away, if it's Joey Wendell going away, somebody else is going to come from the minors and take their spots. I'm telling you that right now. They weren't the main cause of this loss, because it goes back to the big boys here. Because at some point, one of the big boys are going to put this team on their shoulder. Chris, I got killed for this. When is this core going to put the team on their shoulders and carry them for a portion of a season? Because I haven't seen it since this core's been together. And everybody just wants to pay these guys, pay Alonso. You can't lose Alonso. You might have to break up this core. Now, it's one game. It's a couple of games. I'm not going to go crazy and say, oh, just trade everybody now. But you really have to think about it, because this is the same core that continues to not get better as a team and still have the same problems year after year after year. And it's got to be a talking point.
Yes, I agree with you. There's so many thoughts running through my head right now. I can take this so many different ways. I agree with you. It's one game. We can't make rash general assumptions of that nature, but I do agree with you in terms of the synopsis of just the core's inability to be resemblant of, let's face it, a Braves core, where that when it comes time to the game at crunch time, where what does it say? When the core is going. Yeah. No, good point. And Joel's spot on, and you're spot on, and I completely agree with that. And yeah, they need to do better. That's case in point. But my second sort of, and sorry, I like, you could tell I'm out of words right now, because this is just not the way I wanted to sort of come on here on a post game, or like take an in-game live and do a post game with this kind of tone. And I hate doing it, because usually I try to be upbeat and I try to see the good in this team, in this organization. But beyond just the core lacking right now in terms of their performance, one thing that I really hope that this season doesn't turn into is taking away opportunities from the young ball players, regardless of what the outcome of this season is. I don't
Agreed.
need to see Joey Wendell in that ball game. I don't need him on this team, period, to be honest with you. I was
No.
fully expecting to go into this season with Mark Vientos as the DH. Very happy to have JD Martinez here. But I was accepting of the fate and the writing that was on the wall before that signing happened in terms of Mark Vientos getting bulk at-bats this season. That's not happened yet. Obviously, you sent him down because JD Martinez is on this team. I understand that. Brett Beatty won the job. Okay. In a game like today, Mark Vientos, one, shouldn't have came out of the game, in my opinion. That's first and foremost. I don't care about the defense. I don't care. I don't care. And I would have said this before. We said it before when the move happened. We saw Joey Wendell, and we were like, what's going on here? But if you're going to take Mark Vientos out in favor of a lefty that is defensive-minded, quote-unquote, or can play good defense, or at least better defense than Mark Vientos, put Brett Beatty in the game at third base. I'd rather see Brett Beatty. Listen, I'm going to die on this hill. I'd rather see the Mets lose on a boneheaded decision from Mark Vientos or Brett Beatty than Joey Wendell. I'm gonna say that right now. If Mark Vientos or Brett Beatty make that decision to go to second base for the double play instead of home plate, I'm gonna live with that all day long. Because guess what? The young kids are playing, and then you can use this data to evaluate them in the long run. I don't need to see Joey Wendell, the veteran who shouldn't make this mistake. I don't need to see him make that mistake.
I agree.
Not in this season where the situation in this organization is what it is. This team is not competing for a World Series. I think everybody needs to be reminded of that. If they somehow pull off a miracle run, more power to them. I'll come back and eat my words. But it's not. It's not the situation. I said this in the offseason. I'm going to say it again right now. I want to see the young guys play. Mark Vientos, if anybody makes that mistake at third base, it should have been Mark Vientos, right? And I truly do think that he wouldn't have made that mistake because I think these young kids at third base, Brett Beatty, Mark Vientos, they're hungry and they have stuff left to prove. And therefore, they are going to make the right decisions, and I'm confident in that. So that's just my rant. That's my rant.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? Like, Mendoza rewarded what Vientos did yesterday and put him in the lineup to reward him for a good game yesterday, for a big at-bat. Leave him in the ball game. If Vientos would have made that play, it is what it is. You know, young player, not a great defensive third baseman. But then again, let's be honest, Chris. If Vientos would have made that boneheaded mental mistake and not throw it home, everybody would have been like, why do you keep him in third base late in the game? Maybe not me and you, but a lot of people would have talked about that. Would have been a talking point. Oh, you should have put Brady in or Wendell in or somebody that could play third better than Vientos. Somebody would have brought it up. You know that. So, but because it was Joey Wendell,
they would have. You have to manage to not appease the fans at the end of the day. Where you're talking about
I'm just talking about the reaction that would.
I agree.
They would have been like, "Why ain't Joey Wendell?" I mean, they might have not said Joey Wendell. They would have probably said Brett Beatty, most likely.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
like again, but all that leads up. Remember, this is the 8th inning. This happened. Like, it's not like it happened in the 4th inning where there's a whole game to go. There was a whole game for the Mets to get insurance runs that led up to that Joey Wendell mental mistake. So, look, until this core, we could talk about DJ Stewart, Joey Wendell, the supporting cast, as our boy Hector says from Washington Heights. The supporting cast doesn't matter. If the core doesn't do their job and continue to fail and don't make this team better, because let's be honest, where would this team be without the supporting cast this year? Because they played extremely well when this core has been mediocre at best. Again, like, you can't pick it up, as Joel said, in June and July when it's too late and you are completely lost in April and May and you're done by July, and then all of a sudden they pad their stats at the end of the year and it means nothing. At some point, carry this team into the summer and then let the supporting cast help you out in August and September. How about that? Like, I'm sick and tired. Like, everybody says, oh, Lindor pads his stats. Well, guess what? You know who also does that? Pete Alonso. Do you see his numbers late in the year when it didn't matter? It's the same problem with a lot of these core guys. And that's the problem that I have. Because you can't wait until June and July when we're basically dead in the water. And then like, oh, look, Alonso, Lindor, they're batting 350, 6 home runs in a month, 7 home runs in a month. And it doesn't get us nowhere. It means nothing. You can give me all the stats you want for years that the Mets didn't do well. I don't care about the individual stats. Did they help us win a ball game, or did they do the majority of their damage in July, August, and September when the Mets are basically out of it? Because the supporting cast is basically what the Mets are right now. Because nobody from the core is doing well enough to help this team win. And it's a huge problem. And until Met fans get the emotions out of the way and talk about the real problem of this team and saying, how are you gonna, replicate the stats of Alonso or Lindor or Nimmo? Well, you can do that because you might get 2 players to add to your lineup that might have similar numbers, but it expands your lineup. Maybe when this core is a losing core, and it's been like that for years. You can't keep on rolling the dice, playing this, putting it out there, the same team, same core, and nothing changes. Except
it's kind of a moot point, though, Rob. I mean, the off season happened, though. I mean, unless you're talking about trades at the deadline here and like a complete roster shakeup. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, but at this point, like we can have that conversation. I think that in June, or July, whenever the deadline is. But I hear what you're putting down. I hear
28 games into the season. What's been the problem from this team? 28 games into the season. Let's just talk about the first 28 games.
I mean, really, I think Pete's having an up and down season, but Nimmo and Lindor. Do you consider Lindor part of the core? I mean, yes, right? Lindor.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a movable contract, though.
No. I'm just talking I'm talking about this is a talking point last offseason, after 2022, 2021, all that stuff. What I'm talking about, let's talk about what we're talking about right now. 28 games in. The starting pitching has been pretty damn good. The bullpen has been outstanding. So there's one thing left. And the reason why the Mets are exactly 500 right now is because of the offense. Right?
Yeah.
And what's been the surprise has been the supporting cast. The Tyrone Taylors, right? Been really good. Even Brett Beatty, for that matter, even though he's struggling right now because probably if he's injured, maybe, but he showed a little bit of something. It's the supporting cast that are, Bader. Like, why are we talking about those guys? Those guys are supposed to be adding to this team rather than being the team that's actually the reason why this team is actually better than a lot of people are expected at 500 right now. Because listen, Alonso has been up and down. He hasn't had a good 8. It's been okay for a Pete Alonso type year, right? Lindor's been a no-show. Nimmo finally got his average up to 200. He hit the home run today, great. But that's it. Like it goes back to that. And I do wonder, when is it going to, look, this has got to be the year this core puts this team on the back and rides them throughout the summer. Because if it doesn't happen, you can't tell me, oh, let's just sign Alonso and let's keep McNeil, Alonso, Lindor, and Nimmo, which some of the contracts are hard to trade, but you got some
Lindor and Nimmo are not movable.
Absolutely. But you know what? We know who are movable. You might not sign Pete Alonso, and Jeff McNeil is tradable. So maybe that change needs to happen. I'm not saying it should, but you have to think about that. You can't just change supporting cast every 2 years and bring them with that core and then act like it's everybody else's fault except the core, because they're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So it's a tough decision, but maybe that tough decision has to be made. People talk about it in the years David Wright and Jose Reyes, when after 06, they had two choke jobs in a row in 07 and 08, and there was a lot of talk. Maybe they need to break up the Reyes-Wright combination, change it up a little bit. They never did that, and it just trickled down, got worse and worse and worse as the year got on because they just added supporting cast to the core that was basically, for the most part, a choke core and a losing core, and they never changed it. And then when it was a time for Reyes to leave and David Wright was never the same after his back, you're going through 5, 6, 7 years of bad seasons, and you wasted the great years of those core guys. Just like the Mets are wasting these core guys' years. The prime of their careers, you're wasting right now. The Lindors, the Nimmo, Alonso's going to be up that 30-year-old mark as well. How many more years are they going to be at their prime? Maybe 2 years, maybe 3, the most. You got to do something here because you can't keep on going through losing seasons. But for 28 games, if it wasn't for the pitching and the supporting cast, this team would be one of the worst teams in baseball. And it's
the bullpen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. No, I agree with you. It makes complete sense what you're saying. And that's why during the off season, and we'll talk about this more eventually as the season goes on, we'll revisit this, especially in the roundtable, get Hector's and Hayden's thoughts. We'll talk about all of that. I don't want to really exhaust the topic tonight, even though we can probably go on for 2 hours about it. But I will say, though, that it's an interesting position, organization, roster construction wise, that David Stearns inherited right before the offseason began. I think you're starting to you saw them make a team for the short term. This isn't a long-term sort of roster construction. And David Stearns knows that. He just knew that he wouldn't be able to fix an entire roster in one season. There's going to be other moves, like lateral moves, that we'll see. Some of them will piss us off. It will piss us off for sure. But this is a vision where, and even into this season, coming into this season, I thought that this season was evaluation season central. I was like, okay, we could stick it to the playoffs. Maybe it will be an 84, 85 win team max. But more so than watching playoff baseball, which obviously I'm always rooting for. I would love for them to make the playoffs as a wild card team. I'm genuinely curious what the young guys have to offer here, and if they can be a part of that core and mix in with the current core to build a contender maybe next year or the year after. But if David Stearns has any inclination that this roster is going to take beyond next year or 2 years to answer, and I understand that a lot of money is coming off the books and there's a plentiful resource of riches here that David Stearns is going to have to work with. And maybe that's the saving grace for him to keep Alonso and say, listen, I'm just going to toss money at this roster and I'm going to do it better than the way they've been doing it before by just having a method to his madness, right? I don't know. The jury's still out on that. But this team right now, there's no, I'll say this. I'm a very big proponent for re-signing Pete Alonso. I would like to see him back with his team. I think a lot of people would. I think you have a hitter like that, good power hitter. I think a lot of people would be in that camp. All I'm going to say, though, objectively, is that he's not safe and he's not guaranteed an extension.
I agree.
That's all I'm going to say. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, and I agree. I don't want Alonso to leave. I would love for Alonso to be the first Met to play his entire career as a New York Met. I'd love that. But he's not safe, and he shouldn't be, because there's two guys that Stearns inherited that he can't get rid of, and that's Lindor and Nimmo. Everybody else, there's a possibility of them being not a part of this team in 2025. Very simple. It's very simple. But, again, the season is a long way over. I said this, there's an 80-plus game season that we have to worry about. I don't care about game 97 or 142, 80-plus games. Once we get to the deadline and we play about close to 90 games, That's the evaluation time, because that's going to determine if we're going to be buyers or sellers, as I said in the pregame. Show me something here. I want to see the big guys in this team take us to the deadline at least. Give us hope at the deadline where we're a couple of games, maybe we're in a wild card spot, or we're a couple of games from a wild card spot. And give Stearns, let him have a hard decision at the deadline where he has to make that hard decision. Don't make it easy for David Stearns, because if you play like shit and you're nowhere near in a playoff situation where you can get a wild card and you're many games back, well, it's an easy decision for Stearns. You better trade Pete Alonso, because you're not going to get nothing for him, even if you try to sign him. Like you got to think outside the box. And you know what? If the players force David Stearns' hand, it's on the players. It's not on David Stearns, regardless of what he does at the deadline. If the Mets are becoming sellers, because he set up this team to have options at the deadline. Chris, we talked about this all the time during Mets Hot Stove. He set this team up for options. If it's not going well, he can trade everybody and bring up every young kid in the minors, or he can go for it. But he left himself options, and that's what this team is. This team is a bunch of options. There's a lot of prove-it guys on this team. We'll see how it goes, Chris. So what is your final thoughts so we can end this misery?
I think we've said our final thoughts. Let's go Mets. As always, we'll continue to have this discussion surrounding core, surrounding the young guys, surrounding this team. It's one of 162. The great thing about baseball is that we get to do it again tomorrow. We'll be back hopefully with the pregame tomorrow. And we'll talk about it. We'll sleep on it. We'll think about it, and we'll really assess where this game went wrong for the Mets. But you can point out a lot of things today. Obviously, the performance, you never want to blame any sort of umpiring, especially after today. The Mets controlled their own destiny in this game, and that's what hurts the most. Like, they controlled their own destiny, and they didn't want to hit after that home run. So, great discussion as always. Great commentary. Hopefully, you all enjoyed it. Like, I appreciate everybody that's been popping in and out of the stream. We appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up. It's not only being streamed to this guy up top's YouTube channel, but also being streamed to my YouTube channel. Hit on that subscribe button. Hit on that like button on both streams. We appreciate it. Hopefully you all like this tandem, this duo that Rob and I have going on. Obviously, want to provide you the insight of what's going on in our brains during the game. We spent this whole entire offseason talking about this team, talking about the acquisitions, talking about where we think this team could benefit and go next. But now it's like we get to see the product on the field, and we get to just analyze it the way we usually do. So hopefully everyone enjoyed it. We'll be back with another one, hopefully by the end of this week. Pregame tomorrow, Rob. Going to put you on the spot. If you're down for one, I'll be down for one. But then at 7 o'clock, I got to lock into my New York Knicks, like Jeremy is saying here. So we got Knicks and Mets tomorrow. As always, appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And Rob, as always, it's a pleasure. It's a long one, almost going on 3 hours, about 2:45 right now. But you know what? And even in games like this, nothing else I'd rather do than talk about the New York Mets. Win or lose, as heartbreaking as it is, this is what I enjoy. I love this team no matter what happens. And we're all here for a reason. Everyone in the stream is a Mets fan, obviously, because they're choosing to spend their time with us talking about the history that we witnessed. And we appreciate that and have a lot of love for you all doing that. And thank you so much.
Absolutely. We get nothing for our loyalty, but we come back every single day. The big part of this team, step up, put this team on your shoulders. That's all I ask for. Chris, it's always a pleasure. Everybody in the chat, always a pleasure hanging out with us for over 3 hours with the pregame as well. I appreciate it. So with that said, Mets lose 3-1. Severino pitched great. Unfortunately, we'll see you next time, guys. Have a great night. Let's go, Mets. Chris, have a great night. See you next time, guys. Good night.
Mets. See you, Rob.
We got ourselves a ball club, the Mets of New